I'm your sick boyfriend today. I don't feel good at all, but I can definitely still talk about Felicity season two. My hair's all messed up. My hair's always messed up though, right? Right, everybody? Felicity season two. Let's talk about it. I think that Felicity is most famous or infamous, most well known for one thing, and I find it kind of odd. It's best known for a haircut. The urban legend or the popular mythos around the show is that Felicity was brought down, destroyed by one bad haircut, which is mostly a stuff of myth, but it's fun to engage with nonetheless. In season two of Felicity, our hero, Felicity Porter, cuts all of her iconic curly hair off. And it's extremely typical. It's fine. I mean, I still see it in people and girls, even my own age. A guy hurts you really bad, so you chop all your fucking hair off. It's a tale as old as time. I believe that the origin of the idea came from Carrie Russell herself, who kind of pranked J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves over the summer break in between season one and two by sending them a picture of her with like a short wig on or something. It was something to that effect. But Abrams and Reeves saw the fake short hair and went, "Oh, we like that. We like that. We're gonna actually do that." So they did, and I think the short hair like makes sense. A lot of naive girls in college get all introspective and weird and chop off all their hair in their sophomore year. I think it's kind of cliche, and it's interesting at least that Felicity is representing that sort of cliche. But audiences were not really thrilled with Felicity's new haircut, and neither was the network. The WB invented a new rule that was all hair modifications had to go through a process of approval now. All of them because of how deeply they felt Felicity's short hair affected the show's viewership. And I don't think it's the hair. I think that Carrie Russell is uh strikingly beautiful looking, no matter the haircut. I think that she's silent film coded. I think she's Lillian Gish coded. I think there's something really eternal about the kind of beauty that Carrie Russell has. So it's not like a haircut could ruin that. I prefer the long hair, whatever. But the short hair didn't destroy the show. Uh, season two was also just not as good as the first season. In fact, season two is I think it's mostly bad. I think it's mostly not a good season, but there are some interesting things to talk about. Fuck, man, I am really sick. It's a competent season of TV, right? The arcs are realized and completed for the most part. In the first season, Felicity chose between two guys, ultimately, between Noel and Ben. And in the second season, she chooses herself. Uh, it is a new development within her character. I have a certain kind of problem with her character. I feel like in the first season she was naive, and every once in a while she would do these disagreeable things that could mostly be understood through her naivety that would get her into trouble. In the second season, it's as if J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves are too in love with either Carrie Russell or Felicity Porter. She's written like some sort of superstar, a superhero almost. Like she's a revolutionary. She could almost do no wrong, and everything she tries to do, she does really fucking well at. Like it gets annoying after a while. I like season one Felicity, a kind of a super awkward, super naive girl who's just full of mistakes, ambition, and insecurity. I understand that this is a development within her character, and it's fine. She is becoming more mature, more confident, and all of those things, but she's also becoming a little bit more unlikable or unrelatable. I can't really relate to someone who just seems to be fucking great at everything. J.J. Abrams and his Star Wars movies are making a lot more sense now that I said that. Where the show succeeds this season is Ben. And before my voice gives out, I'm just gonna choose to talk about two things because I can lay a lot of criticism on this season. I didn't really like it, but let's talk about the two things I found most interesting. And the first thing is something I really liked about the season, which is Ben. I said in the last season that I hope to be here talking a lot about Ben's philosophy. I don't know how much I'm going to talk about Ben's philosophy, but I was right. I'm going to talk about it because it was finally fleshed out and figured out, which is great because Ben was figuring out his identity, who he is. Like, life after high school, the curious second life of the star of the high school star of track and field. Where it was kind of annoying with Felicity's character, how she seemed to be very good at everything. Even if she stumbled into a situation, she made the most out of it and like inspired everyone around her. It was kind of annoying. Ben is the opposite. Ben Covington is fucking awful at everything he tries except for Felicity. That's it. Honestly, that's it. He tries to be like a stockbroker. He tries to be everything. But the only thing he's good at is being the man who Felicity is in love with. And in this season, it is interesting. J.J. Abrams did okay with the overall arcs, at least with his concept. Oh fuck me! At least with his concept of where to take the characters, because we're kind of flipping archetypes the other way around. Whereas in the first season, Ben seemed to inspire Felicity so much. In the second season, Felicity is inspiring Ben constantly. He has wonderful lines like, I see things in you that I wish that I had. And he tries to become the kind of guy who, in his mind, he thinks Felicity deserves. Because he grows to love Felicity over these seasons. And through loving Felicity, through falling in actual love with Felicity, in authentic, genuine love with Felicity, he's able to find out who he is as a person and what his philosophy is. And I know the show was playing around with Ben discovering his own personal philosophy because I have him take a class with Noel about philosophy, and he sucks at it. He sucks at everything he tries, and there's just something so, to me, charming about Ben's kind of perpetual failure, especially since he looks so handsome and and he comes from a background of gold medals and popularity contests, and yet in New York City in college, he's basically just a loser with a really nice but goofy looking smile. I'm sorry, I can't talk on and on today like I normally do. You're gonna have to connect the fucking dots on your own. I'm saying that Ben is like really interesting this season. And I'm very introspective. Another thing that was exciting about this season was actually figuring out what J.J. Abrams' philosophy is, because he is slippery. His psychology is fucking slippery. The guy fucking squirms away every time I think I got him, and I know exactly what his artistic fucking philosophy is. I got him this time. It took a long fucking time. It took going through episodes about like there's a whole Twilight Zone episode where half of it is in it's almost a direct adaptation, a direct recreation of one of my personal favorite Twilight Zone episodes, and I'm supposing one of JJ's as well, called Five Characters in Search of an Exit. And we find out that all of it takes place within Megan's mystery box. And we all know how J.J. Abrams feels about mystery boxes and how integral they are to not only creative writing, but to personal development. We talked about that in the first season, but that didn't wow me. What wowed me, and when I really figured out what his philosophy was when Ben, um, near the very end of the season, when Ben went to Dean and DeLuca with a film reel, with a film canister of The Gold Rush by Chaplin. And he says, "You know what this is?" She says, "I'll play the fucking clip so I don't have to talk."
You know what that is?
Yeah. It's a film canister.
Nah, it's a time machine.
That's how JJ views film. That's how JJ views Felicity. That's how JJ views mystery box writing. That's how he views his own philosophy. Oh, oh my god. And I almost get the sense that like Felicity is him correcting the wrongs of his own college experiences. You know, maybe there was a Felicity in his life. You know, maybe there was a Ruby. Maybe there was something. You get the idea that JJ's saying that through film, through the use of the moving image, through television, we can go back in time and correct the wrongs. We can actually have that sci-fi apparatus inside of our own lives. Time machines exist, and they exist in movies. They exist in the shared experience of watching the movie. We kind of get that from JJ's future work in, Star Trek and Star Wars, Super 8, etc. Especially in like The Force Awakens, because it's like first lines of that movie is right, like finally, like we can start to correct the past or like correct where we're going. Something like that, like Max von Sydow says that. I'm pretty sure. My issue with it though is I don't know if he's saying something extremely profound or if it's like super fucking stupid. I'm actually leaning towards JJ's philosophy is mostly actually stupid. It's still a tender show. And I figured out what JJ's philosophy is. He believes in something even more hyper sentimental than even Steven Spielberg. He believes that through the moving image we can essentially time travel and correct the mistakes of the past. That is fairly obvious within Felicity, and it's extremely obvious within Star Trek and Star Wars. These other massive franchises that kind of fell off that he breathed new life into by almost doing a paint by numbers tribute to like the originals, right? I mean, his Twilight Zone episode. I don't even know really why it exists too much because it's almost like a direct. It's almost like verbatim the same fucking episode has five characters in search of an exit. He really didn't do anything different with it. I mean, we can analyze the mystery box as like our principal leads are inside of Megan's mystery box, and the mystery box itself is college, and no one knows how you come out of college. You come out of it though the mature adult that you will be forever. That's what the mystery box can be. Five characters in search of an exit, literally trapped inside a mystery box. Now, what surprises me most about JJ knowing about that episode is that it's one of my favorite episodes of the Twilight Zone, but I hate the ending because it turns out they're all just toys, which is completely unsatisfying. And yet it seems that JJ is really, really happy with that fucking ending since he does it in the fucking Felicity show. So like he absolutely does not care about outcomes or payoffs, which is fine because in the first season we talked about how the journey matters a lot more within television. My first season video is a lot better than this one. I can hardly say three sentences without dying. Basically, I thought most of the stuff with Ben was pretty good. Scott Speedman was awesome, incredible, gave an incredible performance this season. Um, I thought they really fucking put Noel through the ringer. He went through a lot this season with Amy Smart. Fucking, I wanna marry the hell out of Amy Smart. I forgot about how much I loved her. It was great seeing her. But they put Noel through a fucking lot, man. I don't know if I think he's just gonna become a goofy fucking character. I think everyone's gonna become pretty damn cartoonish, to be honest, because none of them feel as authentic as they did in the first season. None of them. None of them feel as tender as they did. There is still tenderness and sensitivity here, but it's just so many interesting moments kind of erode into bad comedy. And the comedy's fucking bad in Felicity. It's not very good. This season, it's frustrating because you can see that JJ's and Matt's there. their intentions made a lot of sense with the arcs and how they played with the archetypes involved. It's just entirely unsatisfying and uninteresting. I really didn't vibe with a lot of Felicity season two, and once I figured out JJ's philosophy, I found it to be so simplistic that I was insulted for kind of trying to look deeper than that. And now I feel that J.J. Abrams' overwhelming artistic philosophy is just incredibly immature. His politics are very evident, and I really do like his politics. It's like very progressive, like lefty, like that comes out in quite a few of the episodes. It was great seeing Lane from fucking Gilmore Girls here. I loved that. That was great. But his politics are evident, but his philosophy is just so fucking childish. Um, like I think it's sweet. I think that the idea of film canisters as time machines being sweet, but it's an incredibly dull and infantile way to not only engage with art, but with your past, but with the past itself, with life itself. It's extremely simple. Compare the philosophy of Felicity, which is about people who are older than high school, to any of the great high school shows. Compare the philosophy of Felicity to that of Dawson's Creek, or Gossip Girl, or One Tree Hill, and it doesn't stand a fucking chance. Uh, JJ really is that simple. JJ Abrams really is that simple. But I'm gonna continue it. I didn't like the second season, and I didn't think I didn't like the second season, but I didn't like loathe it. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was fine. I thought it was serviceable. I thought it was whatever. Just it wasn't a fucking haircut that ruined Felicity or started to bring it down. It was the quality of the writing and the characters because pretty huge dip between one and two, between season one and season two in that department and those departments. You know what? I can't go on. I can hardly speak. I can hardly speak. I'll be back talking about season three, and I'll make up for some of the things that I wanted to say in this video, but physically could not. Thanks for watching me.